Okay, I'm going to try this one more time. I'm really having trouble getting this video to record and to process and get put in there. So I'm going to do it in little short chunks. I want to talk about the Trail 90 and the upgrade to LED lights, specifically headlight, tail light. The main reason for doing that is because the 6-volt electrical system in the Trail 90 is very anemic. Charging system's weak, the battery's tiny, and it just doesn't put out enough juice to run those lights properly. When you're running those lights like that, when you're sitting at idle, the charging system doesn't put out enough power, and the lights will dim. You can't use the horn. There's just not enough power, and the battery's not big enough to carry the load when the charging system's not doing it. So by going to the LED lights, I've got using way less power, because the LEDs use probably 1/10 the power of the incandescent bulbs, and so you've got the ability to handle that with a much smaller load put on your electrical system. So it worked pretty good. The taillight bulb was just a drop-in replacement. That was very easy. The headlight bulb, I had to do a little modification to the headlight, but it wasn't too bad, and it seems to work pretty good. We'll see how that works as we move along here. As I run it, I'll see if it's still working well. But so far it is. Seems to put a lot less burden on the electrical system. I still want to try to find the instrument panel lights and the speedometer in LED, but those are very low wattage. They're not a big burden for the charging system, but I'd like to get everything converted over to LED if possible. So so far it's worked quite well.
Okay, we'll do a real quick little update on the Trail 90. First I was going to show you, I got the lights working, and I actually have LED lights I put in there. I just put them in. There's low beam, there's high beam, so you can see the difference, and there's off. The nice thing about it is when I sit here at idle now, with the LEDs they take almost no juice, and they do not dim when you slow down. Also, before, when I had the lights on, the horn wouldn't beep because it just took too much juice to run the lights. So now the horn works good and works much better. So you can see I also put an LED tail light in there. There weren't any direct replacements, but I looked up and found some that were close, and I had to make a little on the headlight. The tail light just fit right in there. That's also a brake light if I can reach. Brake light, show you. There's the brake light going on. That's all LED. These indicator lights up front, I have not. That's the neutral light, and that's the high beam. There's also an illumination light in there. There's the high beam. Those have not been changed over to LEDs. I'm going to look for some for that. Just give you an update of what I've done. I've done most things I wanted to do with this. New tires front and rear. I rebuilt front forks, replaced the back shocks, replaced the carburetor here. It runs, as you can tell, it runs really nice and smooth now. I replaced the two lines going to the old carburetor, both the reserve and the main going to the back side of this valve, and then that's on-off reserve there, so I just have one hose going to the carburetor. The shift lever was bent, so it was catching a little bit, and on this housing I got that fixed, so that works good. I put this little box on here. I'm going to also make a buddy seat to put on there. I recovered this seat. Didn't do a great job, but it looks pretty decent. I may decide to do a better job. I've got an idea to make a more custom one if I decide I want to, but it's pretty good. It's comfortable, and it looks halfway decent. I've got the mirrors on there. I've got this side cover on here. You can see that. It's running absolutely great. It does not use any oil, and everything's going. I may take apart the connections in here and solder them, or use wire nuts or something to get them better, because 6 volt, if there's a little extra resistance in there, it does affect it. But like I say, now with the other headlights, the horn works pretty good, and everything's working on it because it's not sucking all that juice. And if I can find replacements for these and put those in as LEDs, I think that'll help there too. So got a few things I want to do. I want to make a cover or something for here if I can, just cover up the wires and stuff. But it's just about ready to go, and that's about it. I'll give you an update as I get other things done.